This was supposed to be I was supposed to record a video for the High Guard release tomorrow, and I got reminded of what ICE is doing over in the US. It's good. I do have clear opinions and feelings about this, and I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna express them right now. Just gonna give me a second to just. Nah, I'm furious at how this is okay, and I'm gonna show you guys. I can just go to my main screen right now so you can see. That dog is not doing it right now. So, yeah. So yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday, 37-year-old Alex Pretty was shot and killed by federal immigration officers in South Minneapolis, sparking strikingly different accounts of the circumstances by local and federal officials. And is my face going to be this bright this whole time? I'm so sorry. This is going to be unfiltered. This is going to be just what this is. This is meant to be a little bit messy right now because this whole situation is messed up, and it is insane that this is still ongoing, and it's insane that the administration currently leading the US right now is still sitting there just to be completely, direct about that. I had some clear thoughts before I started recording, and right now I'm just angry. And also these channels and me I'm supposed to, and I want to try to make entertaining content and relaxing content and content to have in the background, and not be very political. But I think also we have to be honest and real with ourselves and ground ourselves in the reality that politics is our life. And for us to live, have our rights, be able to do what we want, or fight for what we want, we need to engage in politics. Because it's people like Trump and the administration, and I'm just gonna throw everything out here right now, MAGA, all of the manipulated, stupid people. Some people are not even manipulated, they're just stupid. They will just take over everything if we don't do anything, and this is my way of doing it from where I live. This is me speaking out and urging you to speak out and urging you to make sure that you're on the right sources when it comes to this. Alex Pretty was not a threat. And let me just, I tried to research this. Woman killed by ICE. Sorry, I just need, Renee Nicole Good. I have gone through this in my stream, like very, very briefly. And just, why am I doing this right now? Why am I fixing things? I just, like a summary of what we talked about. I said she was shot 3 times in the head on stream. She was not. She was shot 3 times, but I think it was 1 time in the head. It doesn't really matter. She died. It was murder. This is murder. These people are murdering people. She wasn't a threat. I'm not gonna go on to show the video now. But there is a video. Obvious she wasn't going to kill anyone. She might have been frustrated. She was probably afraid. She might have said some stuff. I don't know. I don't care. She wasn't trying to kill anyone. And certainly she's not a terrorist, right? She's not. Look at this. The Trump administration has called her a domestic terrorist. Same goes for this guy. I'm pretty sure. I need to get this off my chest. 1, because it's important, and 2, because I need this out of my system so I can make the High Guard video with a good conscience and without having this in the back of my mind, like thinking I should have made this before, I should have done this, yada yada, right? I'm doing it now. This is insane. This should scare you. And this should make you feel like you should act doing something. Something, right? Talk about it, share it. Speak with your friends about it. Ask them about it, what they think. Alex was shot 11 times. And he was shot 11 times after they took away his gun. And what they found out after is that he had the right to carry a gun. He had a license that allowed him to carry a gun. He also had a license that allowed him to carry a concealed gun, a concealed firearm. Which, again, is part of the Second Amendment, isn't it? So I'm just, I don't know. I like, I'm honestly shaking, and I want to scream. And honestly, I think the whole administration that supports this right now over in the US deserves a good beating. A good fucking beating. And also the fact that I don't know if this is going to change. Like, listen, I haven't sat down and like researched every bit of this. I don't understand all of like the areas of this, investigation wise, people involved wise, okay? But then again, this is proof that you shouldn't need to have all of that info to see that this is not a good thing. This is not even not a good thing. This is a fucking terrible thing, right? And yeah, it says Renee good here. I want to go through these points right now. I just want to read them. This was updated to 1343 again, live reporting. This is also BBC. BBC is a good news source, all right? If you want news, real time, and good news, accurate news. Anyways, timeline of weeks of unrest in Minneapolis following ICE deployment. The thing about ICE deployment there as well is what the fuck are they doing there? I don't understand that there's no logic to any of this. Then again, the old man sitting president right now should be in an asylum or something. Honestly, the fatal shooting of Alex Pretty follows weeks of unrest across the city of Minneapolis over activities of immigration and border enforcement officials deployed there. Here's a timeline of recent events. Let's go through this. Following comments in early December from Trump, this is a key part of this, and I'm going to mention some of this after this point. From Trump that Somali immigrants in the US should go back to where they came from. And immigration enforcement, this is following these comments. An immigration enforcement operation was launched in the Twin Cities area of Minneapolis and St. Paul, home to a large Somali community. And not only is it a large Somali community, one, they're contributing to the community, right? Which, Trump is saying they aren't. I'm thinking, what is he contributing to right now? What is he doing? Just fucking tell me what he's doing. I don't know. I don't even think he knows. Do they even know that? Does the immigration and Trump even know the difference between Greenland and Iceland? How are they? They have no right. He has no right, and they have no right to tell people, tell us who are supposed to be here or not. Who have the right to be here. But I've heard a lot of good things about the Somali community, specifically because they've been the one targeted right now. They're doing so much good for the community, and the fact that they're so brain dead and not. I'm sure. The crazy thing, I'm sure they know this. They just don't want to believe it, or they don't care, or both. I don't know. It's insane. By December 19, nearly 700 arrests had been carried out by ICE agents, according to the BBC's US partner CBS News. 700 arrests. And you can ask for what? I'm sure a huge majority of these are just people going about their day. Maybe all of them are people just going about their day. I don't know the facts right now. I'm not interested in checking 700 arrests. The whole point is ICE is corrupt, the government is corrupt, and I don't believe any of these arrests are valid. On January 7th, a U.S. immigration officer fatally shot 37-year-old Renee Good, sparking nationwide protests. Federal officials said she tried to run over officials with her car in a domestic terror attack. And this is what's crazy as well. They love to use the word terror. And what is ICE doing right now? ICE are terrorizing. If you're going to use this word, terror, right, against someone, at least use it against people who are actually terrorizing the community, actually terrorizing the people, right? Let's actually look at the. Sorry, I'm so angry. Create and maintain a state of extreme fear and distress in someone filled with terror. You think Renee Nicole Good creates and maintains a state of extreme fear and distress in someone? Do you think oh my god. Do you think Alex, I'm looking over at my second monitor because I'm so used to having the chats. I apologize. Do you think Alex Pretty, this guy, creates and maintains a state of extreme fear and distress in someone? This guy was an intensive care nurse. That should tell you the whole story, right? Anyways, let's go. The points. ICE are the one terrorizing right now. I'm getting sick just reading this. Like federal officials saying this, domestic terror attack. Like, oh God. And also, if you actually, I don't know if you're watching this and if you believe in what the administration over there is telling you, or what Trump is saying, or the federal officials are saying, watch the videos. Allow yourself to be wrong. Allow yourself to become corrected and actually have some human decency and respect to actually be on the right side. Okay? Because if you believe that these killings, these murders are good, or they're oh my god. That these people were actually terrorists and ICE had to kill them because they were terrorizing, or they were planning to kill ICE agents or the government or whatever, or just, I don't know. Get a grip. Get a fucking grip. Go get some air, touch some grass, watch the actual videos. Don't look for answers you want, look for what's actually there. Alright? Because both in the videos of Renee Good and Alex, they're not trying to kill anyone. Alex is trying to protect someone. Renee is trying to get away. And her only way to feel safe, I would do the same. I would get in my car when I'm surrounded by, 4 or 5 agents, right? Alex was surrounded by 7 and died to 11 gunshots wounds in his back, right? 11. After having ICE confiscating or taking away his gun, which again he was allowed to use, never took out. When he was holding his hand up, he was holding his phone up. Okay? I'm so angry. I'm so angry. It's insane. Yeah, but Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said that the agent acted recklessly and demanded immigration enforcement officials leave the city, which again is a great video. Can I see if I want to see if I found it? That's worth watching right now. Doesn't matter which one it is. But yeah, while that thing goes,
dreaded this moment since the early stages of this.
And by the way, these mayors and I can't even remember all the names right now. My brain is starting to fog up out of disgust and anger. But people like the Minneapolis mayor, right? In the same position as him around in the states and the cities in the US, but the only sane people right now. And I'm not saying there aren't people in the government being sane, but they're not getting through, right? At least not as they should. It's not because they're not trying, but because they're not being let. They're not being let through, all right? Because the administration is so mentally deranged and brain dead that. Anyways, my point with this is that there are a lot of good people protecting the community, and people like this guy are of the people who are now protecting. Imagine if the mayors also were the same as the administration right now. I cannot even imagine how that would be. Every mayor or every governor or governing body of the states and the cities are just telling ICE to fuck off. And,
ICE presence in Minneapolis.
Let's just watch this.
Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So
This was before Alex, by the way. This speech was before. This is 2 weeks ago.
they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. And to the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE.
Listen to this.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
Yeah, and what is exactly the opposite? Terror. What are they claiming? Domestic terror attack. They claim the same thing with Alex.
People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done.
Yeah, that is just to like see. That is one of the governors or mayors saying this, and our mayor saying this. All of them are saying the same. I'm gonna see if I can find a image of ICE troops in Minneapolis. Because this might be the craziest, dumbest thing I've seen in my life. These people are so... They're so afraid. They think they're doing... They're oh my god. Please tell me there's a photo here. There's one photo I'm looking for. With like the ICE captain or whatever walking. They're walking in a line. It's this guy anyways. Look at this. Yeah, here. Like, why does he look so goddamn proud or whatever he is, right? All of these people look like absolute dumbasses. The whole gang. Sometimes you can look at people and you can think, "Oh man, is this guy a fucking dumbass?" And then you have a whole bunch of them called ICE. Okay? And this guy walking... Okay, I'm gonna say it. He looks like he could work under Hitler, this guy. He would probably be proud to do that. You know, take just, you know, the whole administration supporting Trump, okay? Put them in a bunch. This is just Hitler 2.0. And these are Trump's underlings. I don't even... How can you have so little self-respect that you have Trump as your leader? Hello? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna be careful. I have to be careful what I say. But I think my point has gotten through. Look at this shit. Look at this. I just can't understand how you can walk down a street or a road or whatever and just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go through this. I'm not gonna edit this. I'm just not gonna edit this. Please watch this. Please watch this all the way through. It's important. You should watch this, or you should at least do research. If you don't want to watch this video, do your own research right now or when you have time. Put it in your calendar or ask someone to remind you. Please do your research. This is so insane. Days later, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem pledged to send hundreds more federal officers to Minneapolis, which is absolutely insane. This was after January 7th. In a bid to quell continued unrest in the city, on January 15th, Trump threatened to invoke the rarely used Insurrection Act. Okay? Let's figure out what the Insurrection Act is. All right. Enacted in 1792, the Insurrection Act grants the president the authority to deploy the U.S. military domestically and uses it against Americans and under certain conditions. While there are rare circumstances in which such authority might be necessary, the law, which has not been meaningfully updated in over 150 years, is dangerously overbroad and ripe for abuse. President Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy active duty troops in American cities if courts shut down his efforts to federalize and deploy National Guard forces under a different law. Let me just let's go through this again. Just the word terrorize, okay? So Renee Good was apparently a domestic terrorist, okay? Alex, the same. And then we have a president deploying ICE agents in Minneapolis. And after they've murdered someone, okay, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem pledges to send hundreds more. For what? For who? Who is doing the killing? Who's doing the killing here? Who's kidnapping? Who's taking people away? Huh? And also this. Threatened to invoke the rarely used. Trump is such a... Trump, you are a weak-minded little bitch, okay? You and your whole administration are just dumb bitches, okay? You guys have no brain, no respect. You're not even human, okay? If for some reason you see this or hear this, you know, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck off. There's a special place in hell for all of you, okay? A U.S. Defense Department official told CBS News that 1,500 soldiers were on standby for deployment when Trump threatened this on 15th of January. Now it's the 25th, it's been 10 days, it hasn't happened, okay? On January 17th, the U.S. Justice Department announced it was investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Frey, accusing them of obstructing ICE. And Frey is the, pretty sure that was the mayor that we saw that told ICE to get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Frey called this an obvious attempt to intimidate me for standing up for Minneapolis, right? That's exactly what it is. They're so... Oh. Apologies. Yesterday, now we're, it's 25th. On the 24th, yesterday, 37-year-old Alex Pretty was shot and killed by federal immigration officers in South Minneapolis, sparking strikingly different accounts of the circumstances by local and federal officials. Okay? Both Alex Pretty and Renee Good were killed in Minneapolis after being shot by federal immigration officers. pretty by Border Patrol, and good by Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE. In case you're unclear, we've taken a look at how the two agencies work. Let's just go through this and then we'll conclude this, okay? It's been 30 minutes. I hope you've watched up until this point, because I think it's everyone's due diligence to take time for this. Take time for Renee and Alex. And if you're also not in the United States right now, just show some just show that you've taken time to think about the people in the US, okay? Show that you care, is what I'm saying. You don't have to be political, okay? You don't have to say anything, but just watch this, okay? Typically, ICE operates inside the US. ICE is a federal agency which enforces immigration laws and conducts investigations into undocumented immigration. It also plays a role in removing undocumented immigrants from the US. It was formed as a part of the Homeland Security Act of 2002, a response to the terror attacks on September 11th, 2001. The legislation created the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, with ICE as one of its subsidiary agencies. Typically, ICE operates inside the US with some staffing abroad. Meanwhile, its sister agency patrols the borders. The US Customs and Border Protection Agency, also part of DHS, technically patrols the US borders. However, these roles have become increasingly blurred as the Trump administration's pulled agents from a range of federal law enforcement agencies to participate in immigration enforcement. Border Patrol officers increasingly operate within the US, taking part in raids with ICE. Okay? There's so much here. One thing we're also going to bring up actually is the look at this, Trump's insurrection claim. Okay. As a reminder, President Donald Trump accused Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz yesterday of inciting insurrection. Let's see what insurrection means. A violent uprising against an authority or government. A violence, terror, violence. I wonder who these words apply to. I think you know and I think I know, okay? It's not the first time he's used those terms against Frey and Walz. Trump has previously threatened to use a law called the Insurrection Act to deploy in the state. Yeah? Trump eventually walked back threats of using the Insurrection Act in Minnesota, but it remains to be seen if the president will renew those warnings. Imagine how afraid you have to be, or just dumb. I don't know if they're even afraid. Do they even know what that is? Being afraid? Are they just that stupid? If you watch this, are you that stupid? If I don't see why you would watch this, but I hope you do. And if you do, I hope you watch everyone calling you fucking dumbasses, because you guys are the biggest fucking scum. You're the most useless pieces of shits. And as I said, I'm just gonna say this. This is gonna be the conclusion of this, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna end the video, right? There's a special place in hell, and I hope it burns hot. I don't believe in hell, but for you guys, I really hope there is one. Okay, and that is how I think we should end the calling the administration things. To finish off this, please do your research. Please care. Don't ignore this because there's so much news. Oh, I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to trust. I don't know what to feel. I don't want this because I want to live my life. If you want to live your life and want to have a good life, you should not ignore this. There's a lot of things we can ignore because there's so much traffic. This is part of the traffic we should definitely not ignore. And you should invest some time, some feelings, some emotions, use your network, use your friends, family, if you can talk to them about this, to just make sure that the people around you are actually aware of what's going on and have the right idea of it, and are willing to support or show support for the people who suffer this terrorism, okay? Because the people doing the terrorism is ICE and the Trump administration, and this insurrection bullshit. The only people violent are the Trump administration and ICE, okay? If these things continue, these videos will continue to go up on my channel. I know this is not what I've said my channel is for, but this is important. If I want to do what I do and live my life and have my rights, have my freedom, fight for other people's freedom, bring awareness to things, for me to have that right and have that opportunity, we need to be aware and we need to act on these things. And we need to show support. We need to be politically active during these times, at least. Politics is exhausting. In a lot of areas, it's just fucking stupid, okay? But that doesn't take away that because of politics, we have the freedom we have, okay? And of course, because of politics, other people don't have, okay? But from the good sides of what politics bring, communication, right? Awareness, rights, the ability to fight for your rights, your life, your right to live the life you want, do the things you want, be the person you want, okay? These guys are... I'm sure all of the ICE people are just... These are the bullies you had in high school, okay? That never stopped, didn't realize that what they were doing was idiotic. People just stayed bullies are definitely part of ICE. And if there's any ICE people who have families that don't support what they're doing, I feel sorry for your family. And I really don't hope you have kids and just influence your kids with this bullshit. Because you shouldn't reproduce. Okay? Anyways, I hope you watched this. I really hope you did. Please also like this, comment if you can, please. Because viewer retention and engagement are the ways that this video might find someone who needs to watch this video or should watch or can help spread this video. So I appreciate you watching. I will go record my high guard video and upload this today. I'll upload both of these today. Yeah. But please care. Please care. Please invest some care into this. Okay? I appreciate you guys. And also, of course, please subscribe. There is going to be mostly gaming content, but this is important. Some lines we have to cross, and I'm crossing this line into the politics world. Okay? I appreciate you. Please take care. If you're in the US or have family in the US, please take care. Please ask them to take care. And if some of my family should watch this, I really hope you're doing okay. Please stay safe. And I love you. And yeah, just please stay safe. But yeah, please take care. All of you. I'll see you next time. Ciao.